Well, that's my Twitter ID, MD Yoder, and then this is the new Twitter ID for the LinkedUp Grand Rapids group. So it's LinkedUp GR all together, and that's so we'll be tweeting from that user ID specifically things that are related to the LinkedUp Grand Rapids group, and then from my MD Yoder ID, I'll be tweeting about things that are pertaining to my work with OtterBase. So. I do need to make one mention. We hit a milestone on LinkedIn or LinkedUp Grand Rapids. We just passed 2,000 members, so you're all a part of that. And is Nancy here from Universal Forest Products? She was our 2,000th member, and she was going to show up tonight, so we could have all given her a hand. But anyway, so I'm really excited about the LinkedUp Grand Rapids group. It has been growing like crazy. We see probably at least a dozen requests to join the group each day. Eric Woodfin is actually the person that initially started the group, and so together Eric and I manage the group, and so we're having a lot of fun getting to know a lot of you people, and we're here to help you connect. So if I can help you connect with anyone else in the group, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm happy to connect with you directly. If you want to send me an invite and we're not already directly connected, please send me something through Twitter or through LinkedIn, and we'll connect and be happy to continue to help you to get more connected to the business people in our community. The other thing I wanted to mention to you, how many people here are not actively using Twitter right now? And don't be ashamed. All right.
Really?
Well, I would like to recommend a book that was recommended to me by Kevin Dean, and I went out and read it, and I'm really glad I did because it really helped me kind of get it when it comes to Twitter. And it's really not just about Twitter, but it's about social media in general. It's not really, it doesn't talk a lot about technology, but it's more about the whole concept and of social media, and it's a book called Groundswell by Josh Burnoff. You can get it at your local bookstore, and I don't get any commission, but I wish I did. It's a fantastic book, and it really, I had several aha moments as I read the book. Everything from, it talks about technographic profiles and all kinds of interesting things like that. But the nice thing about that, the book, that Laura would applaud, I'm sure, is the stories and the case studies about companies that are currently using social media to engage their clients and their customers in whole new ways. And it's revolutionizing their businesses. So it's a really good read. It's not a long book, and I would highly recommend it. So in terms of time, I spend most of my time in LinkedIn and nowadays on Twitter. I do a little bit on Facebook, but I spend most of my time between LinkedIn and Twitter. I'm now up to almost 900 direct connections in LinkedIn and all kinds of other fun stuff, and I manage 3 groups and all that. With Twitter, I have been gradually kind of getting it more and more, and I have been trying to tweet more than just my dog just itched to flee or something like that. I try to avoid that kind of stuff. I started following an old college friend, and it was like he tweeted incessantly. I mean, just the minutia of his life, and finally I unfollowed him and stopped all that craziness. But anyway, the best way for me to kind of really get Twitter too was to go get an ID, start following some people, and I started listening or reading, but in essence listening to the conversations that were going on, and that really helped me a lot. I didn't tweet a lot, hardly at all. But I followed more and more people, and I looked at some of the people Laura was following, and I thought maybe they would be interesting, and I picked a few from there, and then picked some people they were following, and that's how it kind of grew. So I think I'm following, a couple hundred people, and there's a couple hundred people following me, and I get paranoid sometimes, but they're all pretty nice people.
You're not paranoid, you're on Twitter.
So anyway, in terms of time, you know, I didn't get 900 direct connections over the last month. I've been on LinkedIn for about 3 years, and my network has slowly been growing, and it's been, my goal was to, and I've said this in the past, make LinkedIn work for me. My job is business development, it's creating relationships, and so it's just over time, investing a little bit of time each day. I don't spend an hour a day, probably 15 minutes here and there a day in LinkedIn. I check the group to see if there are any requests to join, check the profiles, make sure it fits, send them a quick welcome message, and I'm off to the next thing. Or if there are things in my inbox on LinkedIn, I'll check those and respond to those, and then I'm off. But throughout the day, I do use it as a tool for research. If I get a lead, first thing I do is jump on LinkedIn and check out who they are, see if there's a profile, more information, how I might be already connected to them through, you know, the school I went to or whatever it might be. So, and then in Twitter, I use which is a add-on for Firefox, and it kind of monitors my Twitter account throughout the day. So that's kind of my spiel.